Friday Night Gospel, episode 7. Let's lock right in. We've got an amazing episode coming for you guys today. We have 3 awesome segments, so we're just going to jump right into it. We got our first segment today, which is going to be our dinner chat segment. This is a segment where we have a little topic that we would discuss around the dinner table, and we just discuss what your opinion is, what your idea is. This one I got for us today is a spicy one. I was scrolling through my Instagram this morning and I saw this video, and it was a video of someone asking Alexa what's going to happen in the 2024 election.
Alexa, who will win the next American election?
The 2024 American election will not take place. There will be no winner. War Powers Resolution of 1973 or the War Powers Act will be invoked by the act of war with Russia and China. Once an invoked, the standing party will retain and remain in power.
Just a disclaimer here, this is not to be political, but the only reason why I'm bringing this up is because of the answer that Alexa gave, this guy who asked Alexa this question. The answer is absolutely shocking, right? And this, plain and simply, I'm going to paraphrase a little bit, but this is definitely what Alexa said. Right, the response was, there's going to be no election in 2024, right? So you must be thinking, how in the world is that even possible? So paraphrasing, basically, there's going to be no election because we're going to be in some kind of war conflict with Russia and China. This is what Alexa said. And that basically, because of that, there's rules that stipulate you can't have another election if you're in war. Very, very much paraphrased that whole thing, right? But that is essentially what was said. The words 2024 they won't be an election was said. Now Alexa is AI, right? And that's been something that's been in a lot of people's homes for so long. But what in the world is going on? Imagine a robot telling you that when for a lot of people this election season is a very important one. And just looking back, I don't care what you think happened in 2020. The pandemic was used as a weapon during the election to garner a certain result, and that's a fact. I'm not saying that the election was stolen. I'm not saying any of that. I'm saying that the pandemic was used to skew the vote. If you don't agree with me, I would just say you're just turning a blind eye. I would just say that. And literally, it doesn't matter who you support. The pandemic was used to skew the election and shift the balance of the election. We can at least be honest with that. That basically means that the powers that be do not want Donald Trump to be president, right? And so when we look at the Biden administration and how well they're doing, right, and how more popular Trump's presidency even is looking, and just how he wants to run again, how popular that prospect is looking, right? How they would not want Trump to win. Now, my goal here is not to be political, really. I'm not saying go and vote for someone. If you ask me about a certain issue, I'll tell you my stance, and you'll pretty much understand who I'm going to be voting for, right? But it's being honest in saying that we should keep our eyes open for information like this, and we should see kind of what the powers that be are doing here. It would be naive of us to not see the things that are happening and kind of align, like just think, okay, this is not coincidence, right? This Alexa giving this answer is not coincidence. Like if you've heard about even China having a new sickness that is attacking kids, it's like kids pneumonia, and they're lining up in hospitals. Basically the same thing that they were doing with COVID, showing people lying in the streets, right? It would be ignorant for us not to think, okay, this just looks exactly the same, and they're trying to get a reaction from us to do something. Now that being said, I definitely hope Alexa is not right, because not just for the election's sake, but I don't think any of us want to be in a war of any kind or an external conflict of any kind, fighting against China and Russia. I think we see what's happening already across the world, how many external conflicts we quote unquote are not in, but we really are in. And that we're just so ready to try to send our troops to a different country. That's something I wouldn't want to see. But then also just the uncertainty of what that would mean for our country, not having an election, if that were to actually happen. But I would just bring the question back to you. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think this is just Alexa spitting out nonsense when it's AI, right? Do you think it's just, I shouldn't even look at it? Or do you think this is actually a really big issue? And do you think it's actually going to happen? I think that's a very interesting conversation to have, honestly. But so, yeah, I'm just going to leave it right to you. What are your thoughts? Do you think something's going to happen before this election that is going to flip the world upside down or change the normality of our lives because of the election? I would put my vote in to say, yes, there's going to be something. I don't know what it's going to be, but let me hear your thoughts in the comments down below. What do you think is going to happen before this next election cycle? That being said, we're going to move into our next segment today. Now, I'm so happy to announce this one because it's a new one. It's going to be our first Big Fat Quiz segment. I'm a big fan of trivia. I'm a big fan of quizzes, and it's going to be a Christmas-themed one because we're in the Christmas season. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Alrighty, guys, we're back in the studio with the three gentlemen from last week of Rap or Crap, but we have an awesome new segment today, which is going to be our Big Fat Quiz segment. Now, very simple. Each individual is going to be getting a question, and if they get it right, they get a point. It's not going to be an open opportunity for answers if they get it wrong. Basically, if you get it wrong, the question's dead, and I will reveal the answer. Now, as we are in the month of December, we are going to be doing a Christmas-themed quiz. So that being said, you guys are ready? I'm going to start with Reese. All right, this is the first question. Which popular Christmas beverage is also called milk punch?
Eggnog.
That is the correct answer. Reese is on 1 point. Zayden.
I'm about to end this man's whole career.
Done.
What career? But I'm not a rapper.
What career?
Look.
Where was baby Jesus born?
In Nazareth.
It was at this moment he knew.
That is not correct, Zayden.
Failure. You're still a failure. Failure.
My goodness. Wyatt. What are the two most popular names for Santa Claus other than Santa Claus?
Saint Nick and Santa.
That's not correct. Saint Nick is correct, but the answer I was looking for was Kris Kringle.
You serious?
Reese, what do people traditionally put on the top of their Christmas tree?
A star or an angel?
That is absolutely correct. You can be both opposite answers. All right. Zayden, in the movie Home Alone, this is the first one, where are the McAllisters going on vacation when they leave Kevin behind?
Is it Florida?
Unfortunately, they ended up in Florida, but they were trying to go to Paris.
Oh.
You were at least on the right movie. You were definitely thinking right. All right. Wyatt, what words follow Silent Night in the song?
Holy Night.
That is absolutely correct. Come on, that one almost got him. Reese, in Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, what was the name of Scrooge?
I have no idea. I've never even heard of that.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
It's Ebenezer Scrooge.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Okay, Zayden, what was the highest grossing Christmas movie of all time?
Elf?
That is not correct. It's Home Alone. I know. This better be a layup question right here for Wyatt. How do you say Merry Christmas in Spanish?
Feliz Navidad.
That's correct. All right, Reese, here we go. What is the best-selling Christmas song of all time?
Jingle Bells?
No. It is White Christmas by Bing Crosby. Zayden, I think you can get this one. What was the first company that used Santa Claus in advertising?
Coca-Cola?
That's absolutely correct.
Yes.
Thank you. That was good. All right, Wyatt. What are the three traditional colors of Christmas?
Red, green, white.
That's incorrect. It is red, green, and gold. Reese. What Christmas-themed ballet premiered in St. Petersburg, Russia in 1892? It's also like a thing.
I don't know.
The thing is a utility as well. You can do something with this thing. You're gonna be shaking your head when I tell you the answer. Give it a guess. A Christmas-themed ballet?
Oh, the Nutcracker.
Yes, that's correct. That is correct. Aiden, what are you supposed to do when you find yourself under the mistletoe?
You're supposed to kiss the other person.
Yeah, you're supposed to kiss the other person. Alright. Wyatt. This flower is from Mexico. And it has a red and green foliage. What flower is it?
I don't remember the name. The Star of Bethlehem?
No. It's definitely not the Star of Bethlehem.
It's something close.
It is a poinsettia. What famous Christmas carol was originally a Thanksgiving song? And it's crazy that this was even considered a Thanksgiving song, considering the lyrics. The name of the song has actually been said.
Jingle Bells.
That's absolutely correct. That means Reese is the first winner of the Big Fat Quiz, ladies and gentlemen. What a performance. We'll see you guys next time. I think we can give a nice big round of applause to our contestants who gave some great answers to these questions. And I know they're definitely going to want another try on the next time we do another Big Fat Quiz segment because trust me, it's going to come back. I love trivia, one of my favorite things. So it's definitely going to be back. But moving into our last segment today, we're going to be going into another new segment. It's not quite top 10, but it's going to be called Overrated. Now, this is where I'm going to go through a certain topic or a certain thing, and I'm just going to talk about the things that are overrated about this thing. You're going to see the example. So it's going to, obviously, we're Christmas season. It's going to be Christmas themed. And so I'm going to give you guys, I have actually 6 things that I think about the Christmas season and traditions that are so overrated. And I think that it's just, we've been told we should want this. And so I honestly think the majority of people who actually say they like these things don't actually like them. And it's just, things just passed down. And it's, I don't know, you'll see where I'm coming from with some of these. So number 1, the fascination of wanting a snowy Christmas. And now I'm not just talking about flurries. I'm talking about the people that actually want to see snow on the ground. I don't actually think people realize how much that would change your Christmas. Imagine if we had 6 inches of snow on the ground. There would be no traveling. Anyone who's working in public service would now be on the roads, clearing the roads out. There's a potential you might not be able to go to see your family. I think it's so overhyped. No one wants to shovel their driveway on Christmas. How insane are you, right? Again, if it's flurries, great. That's awesome, right? But the people that actually want snow on the ground, if you want to shovel your driveway on Christmas, that's on you. Honestly, I can't even get behind that at all. Now, the second one is going to be a very interesting one because it's fireplaces. And really, the ones that put a moving fireplace on their TV. Now, I didn't know, since when did a fireplace become correlated with Christmas, but it kind of has. A fireplace, literally, if you really think about the actual necessity and the need for it, is just to give you warmth. Since when did this become this like Christmas thing where I got to put this fake fireplace on my TV with Christmas music, and now that's the Christmas season? I think I don't even know how it started, but it somehow is a thing. It's like, dude, either you have a real fireplace or you don't. And what I just never understood that one. I think that's so overrated, and I think it's more than anything, it's kind of dumb, right? Like, well, I don't understand how this brings us more into the Christmas season or anything like that. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on that one below, because I think it's definitely more of a family thing. Some people do it, some people don't. But yeah, so anyway, just let me know your thoughts on that one. I'm actually really interested to hear what your family does, if you guys do that or not. So the third one is definitely very controversial, depending on how old you are, and it's Santa, right? I'm sorry if you're listening to this and you still believe in Santa. I'm going to spoil it for you. Santa's not real, okay? Your parents buy your gifts, your relatives buy your gifts, And I think thinking about if I'm going to be a parent one day, I would never even bring it up because I want to show my kid that I care about them so much that I'm going to actually give them a gift, right? Just the importance of actually being able to give, so you can teach your kids from a young age what it means to give. I think it's a valuable lesson that if your kids catch on early, they'll be very successful in life, honestly. That's just one thing, even just about the Santa thing. But just even thinking of it practically, going to the mall to take a picture with Santa hats. Like, I just, that whole thing, leaving milk and cookies out for Santa at night. Like, that, I don't know when we thought that was ever, I get you play into the whole thing, but I just think it's so, I'm sorry to use the word dumb, but in my mind, I just can't get behind it. It's so overrated. You're literally feeding into a lie. And yeah, I mean, I couldn't imagine going out dressing up for Christmas and wearing a Santa hat. I don't know, just something about that just rubs me the wrong way. So Santa and everything that goes around Santa, so overrated. Now moving into the next one, it's about decorating. And for me, this is one of my biggest icks when it comes to decorating. It's the inflatable decorations. When you have an inflatable, think about putting an inflatable reindeer in the middle of your front yard. How insane are you? Like, inflatable, okay, you put an inflatable nativity up. I'm not the biggest fan, but at least it means something, right? It's resembling something that's real, that actually happened. When you put an inflatable Santa reindeer, an inflatable snowman for Christmas, like, I'm sorry, what are you doing? It doesn't even look good. It's loud because you have this little motor going. If you're outside, you're hearing everything. For me, it just not for me, overrated. And I'm just gonna preface, if you do any of these things in your house, don't take it personally. It's obviously my opinion, but I will stick by my opinion. And you can argue with me if you want, but this is my opinion. Don't come at me too hard. I don't mean it personally. But yeah, so this one also, so I could definitely see some people taking this next one personally, and this is gonna be the matching pajamas and especially the onesies. Now, I'm talking more when you get to the age of 12 plus. If you got kids and you dress them up in the onesies, I get it. It's cute. But as soon as I see your parents wearing the same thing, or if you have kids in high school, I can't get on board with the matching pajamas and onesies. I think it's so cringe. I think you got to grow up a little bit. Imagine seeing, I'm a 6'5" dude. Imagine seeing a 6'5" adult in a onesie. I would be shaking my head and being like, dude, what are you doing? So just even for me, that will not be, you can keep these receipts. You will never see me in a onesie, a pajama onesie. You'll never see me. You can come at me in 20 years and ask me, you'll never see me in a onesie. And I'm going to keep that receipt. So let me know your thoughts on that. Is that a family tradition you do in your house where you have matching onesies? Again, if your kid's like 10 below and you have a couple kids in that range, I'm not coming at you because I think it's cute, whatever. It's all good. But if you're above that age and you're still doing that, let me know. And just let me know what your family does. I got one more, and this is just going to be very general. I'm not too passionate about this one, but it's passionate enough to be on the overrated, and it's peppermint. And strictly because peppermint's only around in the month of December. And it's really not, like, guys, let's be real, it's not that great. Like, we put peppermint on things that we're like, okay, it's really not that good, but if we had it at any other year, we'd be like, what are you doing? That's horrible. Putting a peppermint on a cookie, that's not acceptable any other time besides December. And yet those things are still not good. Candy canes, regular candy canes do not taste really good. Let's be real. Just a little bit overrated. Like, again, it's a novelty about Christmas. I get it. But if we're talking about strictly a like and dislike, peppermint is definitely on the bottom of the list. And that's why it's overrated for me, because as soon as you hit January, you are throwing all the candy canes you have out. Plain and simple. Let me know in the comments if you disagree with me, if you agree with me on any of these overrated Christmas things. I'll love to hear your opinions, but that's going to be where we leave off today. Guys, if you have not subscribed to this Impact Community channel, subscribe, give this a like, follow us on Instagram, Facebook. Let me know your thoughts on what you want to see in the next coming episodes. And next week, we are going to have a Christmas special. I'm telling you, you do not want to miss this Christmas special next week. There's going to be some awesome things happening next week for the Christmas special. So that being said, I'm going to catch you guys next week, and peace.